Alright, welcome back to part 2 Warhammer Space Marine 40K. So, here we are again. Well, I'll be honest, for me, that was all maybe a minute and a half where I was gone. But for you, it's probably been at least a day. I'm not going to release these things or an entire chapter of them all time, especially since the editing process is going to take me a while. The one-man production machine! Yeah!
Target that squid!
Uh-oh. Squid. Those things are dogs with cyanide straps in there. Can you imagine what it would be like to be the guy who's in charge of trading those things? Like, is there a kind of short straw situation where you have to be in, where you have to train the exploding dogs? And if you're like, someone who's like a little bit higher as an official, and your people who train the exploding dogs keep dying, what do you say to that? Oh man. Oh, what happened to the exploding dog? We haven't got any more. Where's the trainer? The fuse went off a little bit early, Governor. Oh man, that's gotta be a bad situation to do. Anyway, I will target the exploding dogs before I shoot anything else, because one, they do a lot of damage to me, but more importantly, they'll do a lot of damage to the enemy, so I will try to shoot them first, while they're like a pack of people. It's really helpful for clearing out rooms. Listen, these dropships, they look like, I don't know, like intergalactic dump trucks or something. Oh shit! Ah! I didn't realize they were right there. I guess the hovering dropships should have been my first coup. See those craft full barrels. That worked out nicely. Couple men left. Come on! Be a window, not a door. I'm trying to shoot some fools. Oh man. The NPCs are kind of funny. Sometimes their decision making, it's like, really dude? You're just gonna stand right there? And they're like, yes! Yes, I will stand right there. Thank you for noticing. Oh Lord. That's like the control workers are like, I need to get the coffee machine. You know, I can't re-screw them, but you also don't say anything because it's, your office and use to your coworkers. And you can't be like, yo, bitch, get out of my way. I need some coffee. It's going to be a 4-cup kind of day, and you are slowing down the process of me getting even one. Gotta keep those relationships with coworkers, and in this case, your NPCs in good standing. Well, maybe not in this case. As I said, they are, for the better part, immortal. You are not. Throw them out the pasture all you want. It's not going to do any good. They'll still be there at the end of the ship. Whereas, sometimes you can try to fill a coworker with us to another destiny too. Things don't really go with the love plan. Grenades? No. I don't have any grenades. I thought this was the part where I got grenades. Maybe I have to pick them up. Pick them up? You know what? The grenades. There we go. I'm not sure I need them just yet. Yes, I know to stun enemies to get my life back. I went over that in a previous video, the previous video. So here are the champions. What I typically like to do for these guys, well, they will always key in on you. No matter what else is happening on the screen, they will hunt you down, like the mofos they are. Fortunately, more often than not, they're very slow. So it's easy to get away from them. And plus, the fire your friends put down with the cohorts will be more than sufficient. If you want to get to them as quickly as you can, because they will give you a ton of life back. Typically, if there's more than one enemy on the screen, I'll try to save them for last. Just because, in that case where I do get hit by someone else, and I am losing a little bit of life while I'm going through that chainsaw duel with that guy, and I'm getting my life back, and I lose some while it's happening, I'll still get, more often than not, a full life bar back. If not, it'll be close enough where it's satisfactory, regardless of what's happening around me while I'm in the cutscene.
Another horde of the greenskins are headed here from the south.
So, moving on, here we are. The barracks are looking a little run down. I can imagine morale here is probably pretty bad. They obviously don't have the USO for these soldiers in this universe.
Hold the line.
It'd be nice if the Bob Hope just showed up and just started singing a jig for him or something. So here's the lieutenant. She's looking like the grizzled veteran she is.
Thank thee.
Although you gotta wonder why she isn't wearing a helmet like everyone else. Like, I understand you want to be fashionable with your hair, honey, but it only takes one bit of shrapnel to the skull to take you out, and you're not wearing the old skull saber.
Unless my commanders rise from the grave. So
I understand she's got like little box headset communicator thing going on, but I would think you'd be able to get that into a helmet somehow, you know, over the next, however many thousand years. You'd imagine they'd be able to come up with the technology to integrate helmets with mics, and you considering we have that now.
That is why we are here. Leave the gun.
Although I guess, referring back to the Warhammer story, a lot of their technology was lost during, the eons that the band has been around, like they've lost boundless amounts of technology, but still have quite a bit of stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of religious overtures here. Like you notice, like these weapons pickups and upgrades all have a very cathedral look to it. In fact, a lot of the buildings around here have. Yes, the Fury is not that great. I probably won't use the Fury that much. It's kind of unnecessary. I barely used it. I don't think I used it once when I did the full playthrough on a hard difficulty level. I really don't see myself using it too much here either.
Your fastest route is across the rail bridge behind the gun complex. It leads directly to the western gates of the.
But like I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by the game, a lot of these buildings have a very gothic look to them. You see how there's a lot of arches and things like that. The religious overtones in this game are very noticeable. You have to have absolute faith in their god-man, the Emperor of mankind. Who, I guess while he was alive, he was like the best of these Space Marine type people. Without the help of mutagen or whatever they use to make themselves bigger. It's a gene seed or something like that. But he's also responsible for most of the chapters of the Space Marines anyway. So he was essentially the perfect soldier. He had a loyal follower in Horus who I think fell to darkness or something like that, fell to the evils of the universe. The method of travel here is called the warp, which is a very unpredictable method, but nonetheless the only method where they can execute interstellar travel. In the warp there are several demons and all kinds of bad things, and that's where all the corruption universe comes from. So it's like, I want to go on the freeway, but the freeway is where all the bandits are, essentially. Anyway, the warp ends up leaking into the natural universe occasionally, and from that, people end up getting corrupted and, turn themselves into demons or are possessed by demons or whatever. So I guess that happened to Horus. Horus in the Emperor fight. The Emperor eventually kills Horus, but Horus at the same time cripples the Emperor in a way where he is now incapacitated beyond any use. And he won't be fighting any more wars anytime soon. But since he is the Emperor again, he did create the star path which everyone navigates around the universe. They can't very well put him out of his misery. So he sips upon the quote-unquote golden throne, which I can tell is a life support system for his decrepit corpse. I'm sure if anyone watches this and they are Warhammer fans and they search through and found this story, they will correct me on many points, and I welcome that. I mean, don't be wrong. I read some of the books, but I am in no way a Warhammer expert. I just like I tell stories the best I can, from the knowledge I have, whatever real knowledge that is that I have concerning the story. Or is it heavy bolter? It is. Let's take this off, and then straight down these assets. these turrets are extremely helpful as the game goes on. Like many other games, they're not rooted. They're not rooted. You feel like a tripod of a game on, but when you take them off, you just, I mean, you really have to aim. Like I typically go for headshots with most weapons, but in the case of this thing, I would take any body part. I'll go for arms, legs, heads, what have you. Any body part would be good enough. I should probably choose for us take this thing with me. In other parts, you'll have more ammo and they will become more frequent. I recommend picking up whenever you have a chance. Just my bolt rifle there, if you need to. They're good about taking armor out, and they're also obviously a good method for crowd control. In this game, like all other horde-based games, crowd control is your primary objective here. You want to be able to manage the flow of enemies to the extent where killing them becomes less of a chore and more just a system. Can you imagine what it would be like hearing this guy clank towards you? That would certainly make me lose whatever guile I had. I'd be like, oh no, I'm not going through this. What's in this thing? Some other weapons up here. Oh, the Stalker bolt here. This is like your mid-range, long-range sniper rifle, or combat rifle, I should say. I'll use it occasionally. There's a better sniper rifle that's introduced later in this game. It has less shots, but it's more effective. It actually, points out where headshots are, so basically a bit more efficient than this gun. But for the purposes of reaching out and touching enemies that are a little bit further away than you'd like to manage with either the pistol or the bolt rifle, then this is, your go-to weapon of choice. You only have 4 weapon slots in this game. One of them will always be maintained by your pistol, and the other 3 are essentially customizable. So you could get rid of both of these weapons later in lieu of other ones. That's obviously going to be a shotgun type weapon, and like I said, it's an upgraded long distance sniper rifle. There's a grenade launcher. I think there's a rocket launcher too, but I might be wrong. It might just be the grenade launcher. That wouldn't make much sense, would it? Just to have a grenade launcher, not a rocket launcher. Well, I think rocket launchers are like the quintessential weapon in almost every shooter there is. You want to have that one weapon that does. You want to have that one weapon that just evens the odds. You doesn't need to have a whole lot of ammo behind it, but grenades, huh? That's not good. You can just fire and forget into a situation
on the high ground
and get maximum results with minimal effort. I think that's in essence what rocket launchers are. Remember, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but a game called Low Wang or Shadow Warrior. It came out of same company who made Duke Nukem, the original Duke Nukem, not the one kiddies have today, which I have mixed feelings about. I thought that game was okay, but you have the sequel to a game that is known for its lewdness and crude humor and stuff like that. Expectations were unrealistically high for it, and honestly, they couldn't meet it. It was doomed from the get-go, which is probably why it took so long to bring it out, because they were like, well, this is as close as we're going to get. And I do applaud them for their efforts in that regard, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of like the same game recycled, essentially. Oh, but I strayed from the point again. Oh, there's a rocket launcher Duke Nukem, obviously. like no one didn't know that, but or anyone didn't know that. But in Lil Wayne, the rocket launcher is. It was essential, but not essential, because you had so many other cool weapons. Like there was a flaming head that looks remarkably like one of these orcs that shoots fireballs, and you have napalm weapons and things along those lines. But again, the rocket launcher is still the go-to weapon for, oh crap, there's a lot of people on the screen, let's get rid of all of them right now, and just a couple shots and all that, or usually just 1 or 2. A lot of times I just use it out of frustration, just because I really don't feel like dealing with all these guys. Rocket launcher! Problem solved. And the servo skull, if you guys are keeping track, good. I think I may have walked by one or two other ones, but like I said, I'm not really going to go on my way for those other things. They're not collectible enough for me to warrant stopping upon them all. Besides, I'm sure someone who's in love with this game from this Let's Play, because I've explained it all so brilliantly and not gone off subject ever, we'll go back and find them themselves. Whoa there, buddy. Looks like he was making a campfire, but maybe got shot in the face. You wonder what all these guys are doing when I'm not around. What do video game enemies do when your primary protagonist hasn't shown up yet? Oh, we were just having a chat, right? Talking things over. Can't wait to go home and see the kitties. Oh, here comes the main hero. Guess it's that time to bite it. It's all come undone. Man, I should really stop attempting to make English accents. It's never going to happen for me. What's this guy doing? Tora! Little way here to go into the segment I just talked about. Well, really, what was he doing? What was the point of that? He just blew up something that had absolutely no function. In fact, there's ammo back there for me. Whatever. I'll never understand video game watching. The shit just happened. Shit just got real. Oh man. How close are we to the end of this thing? I think we're coming up from the door. I think I'm gonna stop right when we get this end sequence here as we get to this door. Uh-oh. You can see them coming down. They're coming out of the rafters. It's like Yankees game going bad. Oh, now I'm really touching this now. Oh, God. What a disappointing season for the Yankees. You could tell after the first game or two that they were not going to win. Although the Tigers, they could have good pitching this year. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to MGM Detroit. If you didn't know what company I worked for, then I guess I just gave that away. What are these guys? Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going to be over here shooting you in the face. Things have not gotten better for him. Even the shots to the shoulder didn't seem to devote for him all that well. What was it? I didn't even know that guy was there. Just gonna take that? Wow. He must have changed his mind. Anyway, let's just get going. Maybe we can open the door back door and stuff. I like to show mercy. Oh, sorry, buddy. Door's not open. I think you're the cause. Nope. As much of a threat as he was, I guess the game just decided he must in fact die. Oh man. Alright, so I think I'm going to cut this video a little bit short. We squandered enough of your valuable time from school or work or whatever you guys are doing. So I'm just going to end it here. And then, you know, check me out on the Twitters, maybe. Take a break from the videos and, you know, hit up Citizen PM on the Twitter account. Like me on Facebook. Check out my Hubs page. Leave comments below. Maybe you'd like to see some other game variety or some comments you'd like to hear me talk about while I'm making these nonsensical videos that have absolutely no bearing or importance for this game. But, anyway, let's just set some reaction. Let's get everyone involved, alright? Take it easy, guys.